Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Intisar Eleanor. We are back and we're talking all things Real Housewives of Potomac. If you are new here, welcome on in. I'm gonna just get my hair together while I hang out with you guys and chit chat about this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. We're on episode 2 and let's dig on in. So today we're doing things a bit differently. I have 2 packs of the big beautiful hair. This is such a big pack. Clip in, this is the Peruvian Wigs. Okay, ooh, it's coming out the pack. I have it in jet black. Again, I have 2 packs because I'm just particular about the thickness, okay? So this is them right out the pack. It comes with, I believe, 9 clips, okay? Just to get yourself together. It shows you how you can do it on the back, okay? I'm just going to get on into it. I'm going to chit chat with you all. Shut my mouth and we're going to move on through Real Housewives of Potomac episode 2. So this episode was really, honestly, I watched it twice and I felt like, I'm bored. Okay, so what I liked is that at the end of episode 2, Mia was in an uproar. I did not like that, but I liked that the girls, when she came back, you know, really were apologetic about the things that she said, because I felt like talking about why or how a mother does anything that she does, not to say that people shouldn't be critical of moms, I just feel like not too much. You know what I mean? Like, women do whatever they choose to do for their babies for whatever reason they choose to do it, okay? And I felt like she, whatever reason she chose to not be with Gordon old ass no more, that's on her. Mind your damn business. That's number 1. And don't ever say I don't protect my child, because I really would have came at both of them. Like, you funky dog kid assholes. You ain't protecting nobody's child. Karen being on the streets drinking the way that you do. You worry about my goddamn children. Worry about the children of the world, okay? Worry about the children in Potomac County that you may have ran over because you wanted to be drunk in the streets. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like, I don't think we should have piled up on her. I'm just trying to figure out which ones I'm gonna put at the bottom, y'all. So, like, the way that came about was kind of corny to me, if I'm being honest. And I'm glad that she took her moment to compose herself and move on from it. Now, from this particular trip, you know, episode or whatever the case may be, or event, so the part that I did like that came out of this was, 1, Gizelle was more welcoming to newbies. In the history of Gizelle being on this show, she has been nasty to anybody who's new. I don't know what that's about for her. I don't know what she gets out of that. Whitney did speak to this at their lunch, that there are some pieces of isolation there that you feel it necessary to isolate people. But it's whack, and it was good to see her not be that way, if I'm being honest. So we're watching. I did like that she asked Wendy on a date, okay? I really like that. I thought it was appropriate because they have quite a bit to talk through, and I feel like they have had such a tumultuous and ugly relationship that the producers told both of them mother jumping. Everybody's saying like, oh, the producers must have told Gizelle she better cut it out. No, the producers told Wendy that shit too. Like, don't get it jacked up. Wendy is good TV, but she ain't great TV. She could be replaced as well. You know what I mean? Like, she's not like I feel like it would be hard to replace a Karen Huger in the same way it's been hard to replace a Nene, which is why they haven't, which is why Atlanta's doing whatever it's doing over there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that same way about Karen Huger, if I'm being honest. And almost Gizelle. Almost Gizelle, because the truth is Gizelle is more like a, when we talk about like other franchises, she's more like a Candy Burris almost, you know what I mean? That's like almost like a staple in the franchise, or like a Teresa and a Dolores, you know what I mean? So you do need them both, I feel. And I feel like Wendy got the call too. Y'all need to make up, or y'all can just, we're gonna be slowly slowing up this taping of y'all. And I think that was right to say, because last season was a shit show, if we're being honest. I do like that Giselle and Wendy took some time to go out and hang out with each other. I think it was necessary. One, I do think that her and Giselle could be cool. I do. And like I said last episode, for the K's, the Kamalas, the girls, I would love to see, if I'm being honest, Wendy and Giselle get their stuff together. Something about them, to me, feels like they would be friends, okay? I'm gonna show you guys the foundation. I barely have this braided down. I just have 2 braids in, okay? I had on a V-part wig. I'm not switching it up. My sides is hanging out, and we're gonna let them hang out. That's all I got. Ain't got no more, okay? So I'm just gonna put the 3 at the bottom, because this is the this will give us our foundation. Now, I do feel like, I don't know, I felt like the lunch with Wendy and Giselle went really well. It was actually really nice to see them kind of just vibing with each other, because we know they can, and they make an active choice not to do it, which I think is kind of whack, because it's like, I almost feel like y'all want to like each other. And I mean, I don't could be that they don't, neither one of them want to mess up their bag, and the producer said ship up and shape up, okay, and they took their word for it. And I'm kind of here for that as well. Like, it might not even be that they really think that they can vibe with one another. It could be that the money is the motive, okay? Now, I'm using 2 packs because I want it to be thick. That's a personal preference. These come $25 or less on most wig sites. So I'm just going to go on through. They're in here by the weft measurement. I'm going to use the 8-inch weft, which comes with 4 combs, as well as the 7-inch weft, which comes with 3. So I'm going to move my 3s over here. These are the 3-inch wefts that come with 2 combs. Moving them to the side, because they'll be like as we get further up in our head. So Stacy and, I always forget this girl's name. What's her name? Ashley. I want to call her Candace so bad. Stacy and Ashley go out or meet up at Stacy's house. Now, before we get there, let's talk about Stacy. Stacy is fascinating. Like, she has this young girl that she wants us obviously all to know is a polyglot, which, okay. Am I a hater? Am I hating on a 7-year-old? Like, girl, I don't give a damn that this little girl can speak Spanish. She just better. Like, in German. Her daddy is German. Like, what are we saying here? But, I don't know. Stacy is fascinating. And I feel like the conversations that she had, she's going to be one of those people who tries to curate themselves, but will be in positions where it's, unfortunately, she's unable to. And I see it for her, though, as a housewife, if I'm being honest. Something about her feels housewifey. Like, you have to have this level of delusion that you're better than. Like, imagine, Karen is from Surrey County. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but I've said enough. You know what I mean? And I feel like the way that and it's not delusion, the confidence that she has, and a bit of the delusion that she has that she is this grande dame of Potomac, is so fascinating to me. And you know what else I was thinking about while I was watching this? Charisse. The reason why Charisse is not on here, and this is something y'all don't want to admit, it's not because her back is big. It's because y'all didn't like her, she born, or she this and she that. Because I think she's the exact opposite. The reason why Charisse is not on here is because y'all are colorists. And y'all don't want to talk about it. Because the truth of the matter is, Charisse is that girl in Potomac. And I'm saying that from a tertiary space of hearing people talk about Potomac and how often her name gets brought up. So it's like, we don't even really get like the full look. What's corny is there are women who are movers and shakers in the community, and I guess this is what I'm getting at, that maybe they don't translate on TV. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't. But I think that like we miss so much of Charisse's life that we really could have got into, going through a divorce, all this stuff like that. And I feel like it's all because y'all don't like women who don't look traditionally beautiful. And that's it. That's it. And that's all. And that's why Nene walking around here looking the way she do, because she knows that. Because she knows if she stayed big nose Nene, y'all wasn't gonna be rocking with her like that. And I mean that with all due respect. I always thought Nene was beautiful, but I'm a chocolate girl, so a chocolate girl being fly is not something that's far-fetched to me. That's not something that I haven't experienced. And a woman of a certain age having not being fully in shape, and I've experienced that. You know what I mean? And the truth is, when I look at OC and I look at Shannon Bedore and all these other people who just get to exist, it really is sad to me that we don't have a bad bitch like Sharice on here. It's like really crazy. Like if y'all knew all the stuff that she hosted it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But that's here nor there. I'm taking off my cape for Sharice because she ain't even on here, so I'm gonna shut my mouth. Okay, I'm coming up off my soapbox. The way that Karen is, I want to go back to Ashley and Stacey. They go on this walk and they had what I thought was a really good conversation about identity. And how does she expect her children, Ashley, to show up in the world? Now, Ashley made it very clear that she's a black woman. And I kind of bang with that. Like, I think what happens is when we have these conversations about people being biracial, people will say it as if people talk about being biracial in a fascinating way, right? Like, everybody thinks of like that one drop rule, right? Like if you have one drop of black in you, you black. We don't even want to litigate it, whatever the case may be. And some people abide by that. And then there's like this, you know, obviously people who are proud of their culture either way. Like I'm German, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean? And I think our world is leaning towards that more than ever. I've been telling Joe for a minute, like, we're gonna be the last people we know with black kids. Like, nobody's having black kids anymore. Okay? Now, I'm not using a lot of these. I just like using the longer wefts more because it makes for a more seamless install. So as you see here, I have these 4. I have 8 of these left, okay? From both packs. And then I got 3 long ones, 8-inch wefts with the 4 clips. I think there's something to like the identity of how you present, how you want to be seen, that a lot of us don't address, but people are obviously not struggling with it, but have feelings. You know what I mean? Have feelings about that. And I think that the way that they spoke about it was so fucking good. I thought it was good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was listening to it thinking I didn't understand that perspective, like how that may make you feel if you're in a space and you don't have people who look like you. Like, I don't, that's not my experience. And so it's really good to see Ashley like, no, like, I grew up around my black family and I identify as that. I align with black women. And I wonder, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Even though she shows up in the world as a biracial woman, she can unequivocally say that she's black. And I think that when I look at people who fight so hard to want to be biracial, I'm not going to pretend like I too don't think, I don't know. Part of me is like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody were to align you with being black, what is the big deal in just black? But I guess it does erase a piece of your culture, and that ain't cool either. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm keeping, that's not cool either. Even though my truth is that I find you weird. I think it's weird. I do. And I think that the way she spoke about how her boys, who are obviously present as young, they don't even look biracial. You know what I mean? And probably won't. And probably won't. What that will mean for their identity and everything like that. I think that to have these conversations on camera is just so freaking dope. I'm not gonna lie, I find that really, really cool. Now, Stacey is dating a man who is not hyper religious. What's the word I want to say? He is a conservative Christian. He does not believe in sex before marriage, which he's allowed. Okay, he's a grown man. If he don't want to do it, he don't have to. And He just is really conservative. And I find that, like, do y'all remember in Wait and Exhale when Bernie was like, I'm not swapping one master for the next? Girl, slow the hell down. You know what I mean? I'm kind of with Ashley with this. And what's funny is Ashley went through the same thing where her ex-husband, where she was living in the house with him, everybody was like, what the hell is going on? And then from the outside looking in, she could see how stupid that looking sound. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and not even that it looks stupid. Because I have an ex-husband. And we lived in a house together. Period. Full stop. Until we wasn't living in the house together no more. And so literally I moved to LA. So I get it. I'm not saying it like it's far-fetched. People do it all the time. And the truth of the matter is, part of that and what we don't want to admit is, part of that is we like the closeness. And nobody's going to admit that. Y'all got all these houses. You got the place in DC. You got the place here. You would tell us that it's because you don't want this young girl who is smart enough to understand several languages and this and that, but not in a place. And I get why she may feel like we don't want to let her know right now what's happening, because I do think, you know, kids, like, save her from as much heartbreak as possible. But at the same time, I'm also like, girl, go be happy. Let that man know. Let that little girl know what's going on so you can move on. Because this whole thing, we don't know you enough to be holding you down like we did Ashley for that long. Okay? And she barely got held down. If we keeping it 100. I feel like Stacey is, I don't know. What do y'all think about her? I don't have any strong opinions. And part of me feels like that's not a good thing. And hopefully over time we will. Because it's only episode 1 and 2. But she wants us to be more impressed with her than I think we are. Oh, that sounds bad and mean. But this is the Housewives. They are mean. So, Now, I'm going to be honest. You really don't need 2 packs. I'm going to tell you how many wefts I have. I personally just like using the longer ones to wrap this around. It's a personal preference. So, I think I have 9 pieces left. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 10 pieces left. 8, 9, 10. And I might put 2 more in. Might. But I'm saying that because I didn't need to, I probably didn't, you don't need 2 packs. It's a preference about the size of the weft for me. So, because I feel like it's thick enough actually. So I love the conversation that Stacey and Ashley had. Like I said, I thought it was really impactful. And I thought from the outside looking in, as a black girl who identifies as a black girl, you don't realize how identity is. And like Stacey made mention of this. Like, you know, she didn't have to question it. But my problem with Stacey is, if you want your little black girl to feel like a black girl, you have to teach her black girl things. Like, the barrettes and the hair and the beads and the thing. Like, there are certain things that are specifically young black woman that, like, it's just a rite of passage. Even, like, getting your hair curled and shit like I just don't understand how you can't think of a way to bring your blackness into your white. I don't know. I don't understand why she feels it so hard. That's what I guess I'm saying. And you in DC. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. And you're in DC. So I also don't get that. Like, what are we even saying here? Like, you for sure could be in a space where your child has that representation that they need. You're in DC. Like, I don't know. Is it me? Is it me? Or was it like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. And I just don't see it. So, moving on. Okay, so then Kay shows up to meet with Karen. I really didn't think anything of it. I like Kay. I don't see it for Kay as much as everybody else does. Like, I think she's okay. Like, I'm not blown away about the decision to have her on the cast. I'm just not. I think Kay is dope. I think in a silo, she's a wonderful girl. I think she's a beautiful girl. I just am. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't get it, and I really want to. Like, I want to be gang gang like everybody else. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? As much as everybody else does, because I'm like, what's the hype? Like, she's cool, but like, what did we see last season that we thought, yes, Kay? Was it just that we saw like a beautiful woman? Was that it? Because if that's it, I can go there. I can go there. I'm just trying to understand like what the hype is all about. That's all I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So her and Karen talk. I don't think we even need to litigate that. Like, whatever. Karen goes to Giselle's house. She tells Giselle she felt like it was the Inquisition. Everybody was questioning her about her DUI. You are a danger to society. Not because you had a DUI, but because this is your second DUI. Something is going on with you where you either think you are above reproach or you just have a flat out problem. Because someone left a comment and they literally said, like, if I see this whole issue with Karen going on, right? Like, if I see that Karen, have had 2 DUIs, you wouldn't catch me dead on TV drinking. And I think that at first I was like, it shouldn't be you drinking, you're an adult. Everybody who's gotten a DUI doesn't have a problem. But the more I think about it, maybe they do. And maybe we don't talk about it enough. Like, it is a problem. If you ain't in your right mind enough to get yourself home safely without putting other people in danger, there may actually be something wrong here. And that's just not up for debate. What do you guys think? $25. Love, Sex, and Magic. I'm gonna make sure I leave this below. But yeah, I just think Karen has this like weird thing. Like, why wouldn't people question your decision making? Why wouldn't people question why you chose to do this? Why wouldn't they do that? Like, what world do you live in? Like, it's your second offense, 9 different citations. What are we saying here? You ran into a mailbox. Like, are we not supposed to talk about it? But what I will say is this. What I respect about Potomac, because I watched OC2, and Shannon Bedore just got into a DUI situation as well. What I appreciate about Potomac is they're not going to make the case any worse. It's already bad. So your girlfriend over here ain't going to be talking about it. Like Tamra and all of them and Heather and all them trying to censor themselves and mess that's not their mess. Like, I appreciate that. I do. I really, really do. And for that, the girls get a pass from me, because if Karen was over on OC, they would be giving her that work. Period. And I kind of get that. And as they should. How about that? As they should. So I really didn't like that Karen addressed it as an inquisition. I thought that was corny as hell, because girl, ain't nobody, it's not even that. Like, and maybe people do want to see how you're doing or what's going on or whatever the case may be, because they don't want to make any assumptions, because they're talking about you in the streets. So maybe they don't want to make any assumptions or anything like that. I don't know. Karen, sometimes I hate when we make fan favorites, because then they know they're a fan favorite and then they start acting like it. And then to me, Karen is one of those. And we see that with the whole GNA event. I watched this twice. The first time I thought Giselle was overdoing it. Like, Giselle, you doing too much, right? The second time around, I realized that she was right. Because 1, they had invited them earlier. 2, if you know Giselle, then you know the loss of her father was big. As somebody who just was watching it, I don't know Giselle, I'm just watching it. That really, I was like, oh my goodness, girl. Like, this was sad. It was sad. And it was sad to watch, and it was sad to see, and it was sad to see how it impacted her. And to know that she was doing something in support of her father and everything like that this season and this time around, for you not to prioritize that, and I invited you first, to me is a problem. But what we're burying the lead on is that nobody likes Gizelle. And Gizelle can't be mad at them because they don't like her. You got to be mad at you for that. So, of course, these people who actually don't see themselves as your friend are not going to show up for you. They don't even see themselves as your friend. Does that make sense? And you like it that way. Any other time, you're cool with it. Quite literally, any other time, you're cool with it. It's just that this time, you want them to show up for something that's near and dear to your heart, and they don't give a damn. So now you can feel it. So I felt two ways. Part of me felt like Karen was dead wrong. The other part of me felt like the girls, first of all, no. Karen was dead wrong, full stop. And like Gizelle said, Gizelle knew in the moment when she talked to Karen and she asked Karen, well, what time is the event? And Karen was unable to give the time. Gizelle knew then. Because she know Karen. And then it's like to pin other people against, because Karen could have just said, you know what, how about we break the group up, half of y'all come with me, half of y'all support Gizelle and Ashley. It didn't have to be a thing where everybody went over there and then everybody came back. You wanted it to be isolating, and that's what's sad about it. That's what's sad about the situation, and I hope Gizelle unpacks it in that regard. Like, Karen wanted it to be isolating for her. Because if she didn't, she would have just been like, okay, Stacy, you, boom, boom, y'all go to Ashley and Gizelle event. Wendy, Kay, y'all come on over here with me. Because that's what ended up happening any damn way. But because y'all being the girls in the middle, want to play both sides so bad, y'all thought it was a good idea to try and do both in one day. And what's weird to me is that the event, G&A event, started at 6. So why wouldn't the girls just go early and leave and then go to Karen's event? They could have been to both events. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Was it 6 to 9 or 7 to 9? Like, am I wrong? I don't know. I just felt like if I lost my parent and I was hosting something in honor of them and people didn't show up for me, I would feel the same exact way. Get out. I've done it for less. Ask. Ask about me. Now, I am a Virgo and so is Gizelle. So we are very, very, very diabolical. Okay? I think it's going to be hard for her to come back from this. I really, really do. I thought calling over the security guard was over the top. If I'm being honest, that was a little bit too much. But I also get her hurt. She was hurt. She was just hurt. Truthfully, she was hurt. And I think that, and she was hurt because she knew. The reason why she was like, don't come, is because she knew that those girls was going to pick Karen's event over her. She knew it. And that's hurtful too. But you can't be bad to somebody and then want them to treat you a certain way. Gizelle, you have not been the greatest friend to these girls. So them turning around and being a great friend to you or not is not surprising. It's almost returning the energy. That's my take. I've said enough. What did y'all think about this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 2? Am I wrong about Kay? I want to be, but it's just, maybe deeper down in this season, she'll give me something where I'm like, yeah, she need to be here. But if I'm being honest, if we only had one spot, it should have went to NECA, point blank, period. I don't care. I'm standing on business like that. That's number one. Number two, Wendy and Gizelle making up means a lot to me. I like Wendy. I do like Gizelle more. And it's not because I get Gizelle. Gizelle is mean and all those things that y'all want to say. But part of me kind of gets it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I hate to admit it. I do. But I also really like Wendy. I want to like Wendy more. Wendy wants to be unapproachable. Not unapproachable. Wendy is approachable. but she wants to give mean girl and she's not. So when she's giving that energy, it gives me the ick. So that's why I can't really get down with Wendy as much as I want to, because I want to be her girl. But sometimes I think she do shit that I'll be like, that's over the top. And I think it's not your character, where I think that is Giselle's character. You see what I'm saying? When I think you're acting out of turn, it bothers me. But when you're in alignment with who the fuck I think you are, I'm like, okay, you a mean girl. Cool beans. I get it. You know what I mean? But when you're acting like a mean girl and I don't believe that's who you are, it breaks my heart. I don't like that. I don't like that. So yeah, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to say. I think we did it. Let me talk about this hair really quick. Buy it. I did this. It was much thicker than I thought. Because it was synthetic hair, I'm going to be honest, I always buy 2 packs of human hair clip-ins, synthetic clip-ins, so that's not nothing new. I do prefer the longer weft, the 10-inch, the 12-inch, the 8-inch weft to give me a more seamless install because it covers up the gaps that would happen if you have like those little tracks, and I don't like that. Let me turn around for you guys. This is 18 inches. I don't know if I said that. And again, this is a $25 hairstyle. $25. Love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Anything I use today will be in my Amazon shop. Thank you so much for joining me again. And I'll see you beautiful mother jumpers on the other side. Bye.